What's good? What's good? It's the one, the only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with some more news, man. We got Danny Garcia in the news today, man. I was looking at an interview that YSM Sports Media did with Danny Garcia. Shout out to YSM Sports Media, y'all. YSM Sports Media, y'all go check this channel out. Make sure you subscribe. He just did the interview with Danny Garcia, and it was a good interview, but I have an issue with some of the stuff that Danny Garcia was saying. As far as like, for one, first and foremost, before I even get on one of the first things that he said that I didn't agree with was that, he was saying that he wants big fights from this point on in. And the point of his career, I see where he's going. He's at the end of his career. I get it, bro. Or headed towards the end of his career. I get it. He says he wants nothing but big fights at this point. He said he feels like he helped Sean Porter and Keith Thurman elevate their career. He said nobody really knew who they were until he fought them. That's the first thing that I wanted to touch on. Now, I like Danny Garcia. I do. I think that Danny Garcia is very underrated. I think that his resume is even underrated, man. This dude, he came up when he first hopped on the scene when he fought Eric Morales. Now, of course, that was an old Eric Morales, but it was for a world title. So I have this thing saying that no matter how old, no matter how young they are, if they have a world title, it's fair game. You got to give him credit for it. It's fair game because he has a world title. So he beat Eric Morales. He then goes to fight Amir Khan after Amir Khan lost to in a very controversial fashion to Lamont Peterson. And then Lamont Peterson tested positive for a banned substance. Nobody really knew who Danny Garcia was. Amir Khan, he hopped on the scene. Amir Khan took the fight when he knocked out Amir Khan, then knocked out Eric Morales. Then had the highly contested fight with it was a highly anticipated fight with Zab Judah. Then Lucas Matisse. He fought Lucas Matisse when nobody wanted to fight Lucas Matisse. Like, bro, at 140, Lucas Matisse was like seriously the boogeyman. At the time, he had the record of 34-2 with 32 knockouts. The two losses being Devin Alexander and to Zab Judah, both highly contested. A lot of people thought he beat Zab Judah. He even dropped Zab Judah. I want to say it was about a split decision or whatnot. Danny Garcia then proceeds to beat him. Danny Garcia, then his career kind of goes downhill, fights Lara. A lot of people thought that Mauricio Lara beat him. Then he fights that Ryan Soccer dude, and then he fights Lamont Peterson. A lot of people thought Lamont Peterson won that fight. So he's had a couple of things go his way, but all in all, Danny Garcia has a very underrated. He's a very underrated fighter because he just does nothing flashy. But I gotta disagree wholeheartedly with Danny Garcia. I don't think that he made Keith Thurman at all. All right, let me just point that out. I don't think that he made Keith Thurman. I think Keith Thurman definitely had a name going for himself before he fought Danny Garcia. Sean Porter as well. I don't think Danny Garcia is like Danny Garcia is not like this star that like he's not like the Errol Spence. Errol Spence is the star, is a star. Danny Garcia is not that star, anyways. And this is no discredit to Danny Garcia. This is just the truth. But anyways, he then goes on to say he wants big fights, right? So, the interviewer asked him, he was saying he wants to fight with Erislandy Lara at 155 for the WBA regular belt. And then he said he moved on to say he wants the interviewer YSM, asked him, he said, hey, bro, Jamal Charlo has the WBC at 160. Like, wouldn't you want that fight? And wouldn't that be a big fight? And Danny was like, that'd be a big fight, but that doesn't interest me. I want Erislandy Lara at 155. I want Triple G. I want Canelo Alvarez at 160. Now, here's my issue with that. First and foremost, Danny, why are you at 154 if you're calling out all the fighters at 160? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. And this is not me hating, because like I said, I'm a fan of Danny, but this is me asking questions as a fan. I feel, it's no reason. If you're at 154, you're competing at 154. Your last fight was against Junior. Jose Benavidez Jr. That was your last fight, which was like what, August of last year or July, the very end of July last year. It was at 154. You're competing at 154, so why are you calling out the 160-pound fighters? Then you're calling out Erislandy Lara to fight him at 155 for the WBA. if you guys remember, a very similar situation was like around 2016 with two fighters, which was Canelo and Triple G. Canelo was campaigning at the weight class of 155 and wanted Triple G to come down and fight him for the WBC title at 155. And, you know, that, of course, you know, Triple G was like, nah, that's a whole nother, you know, video. But anyways, I'm not understanding like why you are interested in fighting these middleweights, and then furthermore, how does Erislandy Lara motivate you, but Jermall Charlo doesn't? Like Lara has always been a very, very good fighter, and obviously to me, this is basically in a way is Danny Garcia saying he knows that Jermall Charlo is way too dangerous for him, but then again, why would you call out Triple G or Canelo? But, so I mean, obviously, I don't get that. I just don't get that notion, because Canelo is a more dangerous fighter for Danny Garcia, in my opinion, than Jermall Charlo. I'm just being honest. You know, I love Jermall Charlo. I support Jermall Charlo. I'm a bigger fan of Jermall Charlo than I am of Canelo. But Canelo, in my opinion, Canelo's the better fighter. He beats Jermall Charlo. Jermall Charlo has the style that suits for Canelo, but that's just my opinion. But regardless, it's obvious that Lara is at the tail end of his career, right? And so it doesn't make like, so he wants to fight with Lara for the regular WBA, but then also calls out Triple G. Why would Triple G, like, I'm not understanding this move. I mean, bro, I get it that you want the payday, like payday, you want payday. Y'all know what Canelo said, but you know, it doesn't, none of these fights are, I don't think they're gonna be as big as Danny Garcia believes they're gonna be, because bro, who in their right mind, like now the Erislandy Lara fight, I would be interested in that just because of where Erislandy Lara is in his career. But we all know that a prime Erislandy Lara, Danny Garcia would not go near, because a prime Erislandy Lara is a stylistic nightmare for Danny Garcia. But Lara has been looking like, even if you look at Lara, like in his fights, his recent fights at 160, like Lara looks pudgy a little bit. He just does not look the same as he did. And furthermore, Lara has never been a star. So I don't understand, if you say you want big fights, why are you calling for Lara? Because Lara has never been a star, bro. Like he's never been, like, as a matter of fact, just to further prove that, if you guys remember when Lara fought Terrell Goucher, I believe. I think it was Terrell Goucher. You guys might want to fact check me on that. But on that same card was Jared Hurd versus Austin Trout, and then Jermall Charlo versus Erickson Lubin. All right, I remember watching that fight, and I remember after Jermall Charlo knocked out Erickson Lubin, Jermall Charlo stole the fight. He stole the night. After he knocked out Erickson Lubin, I kid you not, if they have that whole fight on there, I kid you not, after Jermall Charlo knocked out Erickson Lubin, all the crowd, the fans in the crowd, it was at the Barclays, everybody started walking out. After Jermall beat Erickson Lubin, not everybody, but a lot of the crowd, they started walking out of the building or whatnot, during Lara's fight. So, like, bro, Lara's never been a big draw. So I'm not, if you're saying you want big fights, I'm not understanding why Lara is at the top of your list, other than the fact that Lara, you see where he is in his career, and you think that's an easy grab or an easier grab. But then again, it's like, why are you calling out Canelo? I don't see Canelo moving down to 160 to fight a Danny Garcia. That's not gonna happen. Like, I don't think anybody would even be interested in that. I'm not even interested, bro. If I'm being 100, they even brought up Tony Harris. I'm not interested in seeing Danny Garcia fight none of these guys at 154, let alone 160. I'm not interested in seeing, like, I think Jermall would, at 154, would just whitewash Danny Garcia. Jermall would whitewash Danny Garcia. I think even at this point of Triple G's career, he whitewashes Danny Garcia. I think, like, I don't even know why you would think that it's a possibility or a speck of possibility that Canelo would move down to 160 to fight Danny Garcia. Like, come on, bro, I don't get it. I'm not feeling that at all. I don't know where Danny Garcia is headed, but or where he wants to go, but I don't like what I'm hearing from Danny Garcia. Let me know what you guys think. What do you want to see from Danny Garcia next? Like, comment, subscribe. But what do I know?